Hi everyone, Gabby Gibson here with another episode. One common issue that I have personally experienced and also noticed as a female hockey player on a boys hockey team is depending on your experience with the coach. They will oftentimes choose boys to play over girls and favoritize them. Personally, I have dealt with this experience before, but I've also not experienced it before. I've had very supportive coaches and I've had coaches that were very like, we'll have you on the team, you can play, but we trust our boys more. Understandable, and you have to understand that this is a boys team. If I can compete and prove myself that I can outperform the boys, then maybe I get my opportunity to play. Sometimes that was the case and sometimes it wasn't. Same as players. You may be fourth line, you might be a rotating player, you may get one shift the entire game, or you might not get any at all. Maybe you're better than half the team and you get to play the entire game. That's the gamble that you have to face as a female hockey player on a boys team. My second point is talking about my preparation from youth hockey to high school hockey to D3 hockey. My youth program, I was fortunate enough to compete and play with really, really skillful girls around the world. I grew up in Alaska, so we got to travel a lot to the West Coast and even the East Coast for nationals, for tournaments, for showcases, all those sorts of tournaments. So I was able to really experience what life was like and what my skills were, what my weaknesses were. My preparation, it was on point. I kind of was aware of what I needed to do in order to prep for mostly college. High school, I played girls high school hockey. We all trained together. It was a program that allowed girls who've always wanted to play hockey to join, but we also had girls who really competed. So it was a very inclusive program. And then my senior year of high school, I joined boys varsity, and that whole level changed. Very competitive. And a lot of the boys were going D3 hockey at the end of high school or popping into juniors. It was a good time. It was a good chance for me to realize, okay, am I gonna try to go D3 or D1? And I chose D3 because I knew myself as a person that I needed to be able to balance school and hockey instead of balancing school and playing hockey 24/7. With that being said, I did have a few opportunities to go play girls juniors in the East Coast. However, I made the decision not to. I decided to just hop into college at age 18. I felt ready for that. Mostly everybody in the program I was in, Anna Maria College, was 18 to start. There was one girl who transferred from a different school, so she was already into her senior year. But most of us girls were on the same page with skill, maturity, and education. We were all kind of in the same bubble. How did I prep prior to getting to college? Well, I did a lot of research to figure out what schools I enjoyed looking at. I didn't get to personally tour them in person, but I was more looking at what they served for education, what we could afford, what was my interest, did I want a big school or small school, and where did I fit in with the roster. When it came to nutrition, fitness, skill, I was spending hours on end on the ice. I wanted to be the #1 starting goalie at a brand new program. I wanted to show off my skills and prove that I worked hard all summer. And then as for nutrition, all of us players got sent out nutrition packets and workouts. And we had to follow the workouts, track what weights we did, how many reps, to hold ourselves accountable. With that being said, we got to school and we knew that we had a fitness test as a team. It was like running, weights, pull-ups, push-ups, all sorts of things. And so you do get a heads up for that, but that was very eye-opening and allowed me to push myself to see where I fit in with the rest of the team. If I could go back in time, I would say I wouldn't change anything about my ice time preparation. I personally think I did enough. I trained with the boys early in the morning, did a lot of skill drills. I think I spent maybe 5 days a week, at least 4 to 5 hours on the ice, and I absolutely loved it. As for the gym and my nutrition, I think at a young age, it's very hard to hold yourselves accountable, especially if you don't have a nutritionist or a coach to kind of guide you and it's just all written down. But if I could take myself back in time, I would take my fitness a little bit more seriously. However, it was a new program. We were all kind of building off each other as a team and with the coach. And so we're all kind of learning. And by sophomore year, I was ready to go and already had a grip on nutrition and what was expected of me as a goalie.